Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, January 24th, 1 a.m. Mountain Time 2020. The models are in. There is a snowy pattern moving across the entire U.S. into the first week of February. The heavy snow in West Virginia has been downgraded to about 16 to 18 inches. But take a look at the snow in, yes, Mexico. Say it ain't so. Keep calm. It's boom time. You're in the right place. The end may be nearer. Doomsday Clock moves within 100 seconds of midnight. Holy crap. 2 years after moving to the metaphorical minute hand of its Doomsday Clock to within 2 minutes of midnight, they've just shaved off 20 seconds towards our doom. Well, we knew that was happening. Keep calm. You're in the right place. Prepared, not scared. Frigid temperatures chill Florida, iguanas, and other things in Georgia. Take a look at the temperatures over the last 48 hours. Panama City, 25. Apalachicola, smoke a 30-degree temperature. Perry, 29. 29 in Marks. Cross City, looking pretty. They must be picking up what we're putting down. Now, these temperatures haven't been seen since 2010. Right here at the bottom of cycle 23. And you can see where we're living. I put an arrow there just so you could pick it up. Now let's check out the Northwest continues to ride the storm train. The good times continue in the Northwest with storms for the next 2 weeks. Warm air will increase. Rain and snow lines at times will go up and down, but overall conditions should stay pretty darn good in the mountains. Take a look at the consistently deep snow. The Northwest hasn't just seen a lot of snow. They've seen consistent snow. And ho, 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 I feel like Santa Claus. The Northwest, let's just look for the history chart at Mount Baker in the last 20 days. 20 days that engraves as quick as x-rays. I could take a phrase that's rarely heard, flip it, now it's a daily word. 10 inches on Wednesday the 1st, 4 inches on Thursday the 2nd, 9 inches on Friday the 3rd, 11 on the 5th, 16 on the 6th, 16 on the 7th, 12 on the 8th, 5 on the 9th. These are snow inches, global warming goodness inches. 1 on the 10th, 8 on the 11th, 11 on the 12th, 24 inches on the 13th. Inches that are cinches, that's 2 feet. 8 inches on the 14th, 14 inches on the 15th, 9 inches on the 16th, 15 inches on the 17th, so on and so forth. 22nd, 24 inches. Pinches me. They're now at 100% of snowpack, and they are now out of drought. No doubt, no diggity. Where are we? Oh my God, we're looking at the snowfall analyzer, last 24 hours, hours of powers, and we're just talking about Washington State. Yes, just east of Seattle, the Cascade Range, picking it up, putting it down, 12 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches, 8 inches, and so on in the last 24 hours. The big winner is the upper Midwest, Wisconsin down through Iowa, where Ransom and Top Knot are driving down to the ranch. Hopefully they're sleeping in tonight. Wintry weather brings mess of snow to Midwest. Travel advisories have been issued. Travel advisories. Can I say that? 3 times fast. Winter weather stretching across the nation's midsection is expected to create travel problems throughout the Midwest that will extend into the weekend. A weekend that will include the arrival of Top Knot 25. Let's check the models. Now, we're only going to go out a week or two and really believe it. So that's the way you should always work here. 5 to 7 days is good. 10 to 20 days is a little iffy, if you catch my driffy. But we can look at this as pretty solid evidence right here of a heavy event moving into the Northeast. at least through your weekend and through your Monday, which will not be a fun day if you live in the mountainous regions of any of those zones. But in the next 24 hours, we're looking at the heaviest snow on the Missouri-Iowa border. Hello. It will be miserable Ohio-ish. Right here, where you're going to see 8 to 9 inches of crappy wind and snow and things blowing and ice underneath and car wrecks and schmecks. And then the Northeast is the beast. It's going to be picking it up through your Monday, which will be a fun day for your commute in northern Maine, which no one really goes to work there. But the West is going to be picking up a secondary system. Take a look, and boom, it's going to move east again. And then east again a third time. So the next 3 weeks, triple system in the Northeast, triple system in the West, but the West picking up the best amount of snow, which could be ungodly. Just look at when this system comes in, if this is really on mark, and we're looking at from January 30th through February 6th for an entire week, Western British Columbia, oh my goodness, and Northern Washington State, we could be breaking records that are unseen, which we predicted, so we're going to be waiting for it. We also predicted a very late winter. And if you look at the videos from a year ago, and I think I just closed many things. Let's go to weather.gov. Heavy rain, snow continues across the Northwest. Wintry mix moving from the Midwest into the Northeast. A series of storms will continue to bring heavy rains and flooding threat across portions of the Pacific Northwest coast into early this week, with heavy snows continuing across the Montañas. Meanwhile, a slow-moving storm will continue the wintry mix and slick travel conditions in the Midwest, the Great Lakes, where they get baked before the conditions move into the interior Northeast, which is the beast, where they're and sleece, where they grow sheep. Yeah, this weekend. Didn't I say that earlier? I think I did. Thank God we went back to that. Now, almost approaching the world record ice disk in Kamloops. Hello, Canada. Remember when you got down to minus 45 for a bit there? Well, it warmed up almost to normal, and then you get this breakaway in this freezing cold condition called an ice disk, which normally forms in the Arctic, but it's now forming all over, even in the lower 48. So when we see it up in Canada, we're like, who cares? We got it down here. Hello. But the ice disk has formed south of the Thompson River in Kamloops. It's a very low, slow-removing, revolving disk. It's caused very specific weather and river conditions, blippity-bloppity-blue. Environment Canada meteorologist Mac McDonald is taking names. And anyway, it's just a disk. And it's indicative of a cooling planet, not a warming one, especially when the disks are moving south. You know what I mean? It's like migrating Arctic disks. To be like, hello. Hello, we're spinning. Hello. Now, if we come over to UK, GFS model, we're going to be amazed because people that have been bitching in the UK about global warming and whatever, watch this little boom here. Boom! Southern UK gets it. And that's Wednesday, January 28th, 29th. Tuesday through Wednesday, January 28th through 29th. It's just 5 days out, and I'm going to believe this model, which is not a schmodel. At the same time this whips through here, the Alps get heavy snow. We're going to see avalanche warnings, and watch what happens to Heinrich Butenhuis's house. Like a mouse in the wind, Denmark gets snow. And look at Greta's boyhood home being absolutely pummeled with up to half a meter of the global warming goodness in the northern regions. Norway is going to be insufferable and buried and maybe unrecoverable. Earthquakes in Canada. Boom! 2020. On the 20th of 120 in 2020. That ain't even funny. 3.8. West coast of Ohio. That's Canada. That's crazy. Teesside shaken by 3 magnitude earthquake. That's in the BC. No, that's in the UK. Holy shit. Big up to the Queen Mother. She's dead. People in Teesside were woken by Thursday with 3 magnitude earthquake, says the Queen Mother. The quake was recorded by the British Geological Survey and so on and so forth. The Geologic Survey in Stockholm-on-Tees, County Durban, just before the 6 a.m. of the BGS, recorded the 3 magnitude with while the U.S. monitoring system 2.8 Cleveland. That's what they say over the pond. 6.2 earthquake rattles the Aleutian Islands. That is way offshore Alaska, but still part of it. No volcanic activity detected. Well, Let's talk about it. When you get a major earthquake, a lot of times it's a day or two before the major eruption. These have been deep thoughts by Jack Handy. Now the 6.2 earthquake that resulted in no magmatic activity or earthquake has been followed by some aftershocks. As you can see, circle upon circle layering up here in the Aleutians, which, by the way, are indicative of an uptick in magmatic movement near larger volcanoes, especially siliceous rich volcanic volcanoes like cinder cones in the Aleutians. So just like there were major earthquakes in New Zealand before the major devastating earthquakes in White's Island, the same thing happened in Tal, and so on and so forth. There's precursor earthquakes of a magnitude of this variety, which would suggest that this volcano up here, which is Tangana, will erupt in a day or two or a week from now. So there's a Tangana alert, as well as many other major earthquakes happening now. Now we have this blot echo at 560 about 12 hours ago in Argentina at 5.5, and boom, right up at the surface, 5.4 in Peru, still at 81.6, which would suggest that there's a 6 magnitude or greater, maybe a 7 magnitude about to happen in Chile. So we're going to be watching this area closely, and there's some major activity in Puerto Rico, kicking off some subsequent activity here in Cuba, which is in that region of turbidity currents, landslides that are subsurface that could make literally a tsunami rush towards Florida, kill everyone in less than 6 hours. There would be no warning. They would be told, then they would be dead. And the traffic jam that they would be washed in would be epic. Picture 1 million people in gridlock on a turnpike as a mile-high, even 100-foot wall of water hits you. Who cares? At that point, it's moot. Yeah, because you'll be arguing. Worldwide volcano news update. Nothing devastating. Let's refresh it. I could talk more about earthquakes, but there is nothing deadly on the front. This is all normal activity. I don't see anything that's catastrophic on the forefront. This is all normal, within normal variability worldwide, including all the eruptions I report on. Sakotajima erupts every day for the last 4 years. Who cares? Girinsi also, and Kismayasa also erupting. Semeru. There was like a little puff from Tal, and everyone's like, oh my God! It reached, let's see here. It reached 3,000 feet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we're still waiting for a boom. And the New York Times can suck it because we're not paying them. Toxic forever chemicals found in drinking water throughout the U.S. A study released Wednesday by environmental watchdog group found heightened levels of potentially toxic chemicals in tap water supplies serving dozens of major American cities, including the fattest cities in the world. The report, published Environment Working Group, found 20 cities and regions nationwide, including Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, thank God I got out of that hole, Miami, Louisville, Kentucky, contain PFAS levels at least 10 parts per trillion. 43 areas, including New York City, Nashville, Las Vegas, Sacramento, had detectable levels. And only one city, Meridian, Mississippi, which uses well water 700 feet below the surface, found none of it. So thank God you're digging deep there. But the frack water will get you soon. Now, PFAS and polyfluoroalkyl substances, also known as forever chemicals, have been linked to reproductive and developmental liver and kidney and immunological effects. Sounds awesome. I want to drink that every day, don't you? Let's wash in it. Let's wash in it. It also results in high cholesterol and obesity. Oh, thank God that's in my tap water. Ding dong. Get a filter. China locks down city of 11 million people at epicenter of the deadly, patented coronavirus outbreak. Contrasting with its secrecy over the 2002-03 SARS outbreak, which killed 800 people. China's giving regular updates now trying to avoid a pandemic, which apparently has already started after they patented the vaccine. Spreading coronavirus prompts lockdown of a second, third, fourth city. Just the last 7 hours as I was making the video. More Chinese cities are under lockdown. It is the zombie apocalypse in China. Hangangang, a city of 7.5 million people, is now 35 miles west of Wuhan, where Wuhan virus was spread on purpose. Now, infected people have been seen dead in the streets in the last 24 hours in the quarantine virus cities. I'm not making this up. Look at that guy. Deader than a doornail. That's the first shot. And there's people like, yeah, the dead guy's over there. And then the people in the suits approach the dead guy. Can you believe this? It's like I'm making a video here. And they're like, okay, let's get the dead guy. Biohazard. This shit's crazy. This is crazy. But it's not, because if you just do some, let's go to Dr. Shiva Ayadurai, and he was going to be on the show, but he backed out. I don't know why. We'll get it back on here. Coronavirus is patented and owned by the Pittbright Institute here. The patent coming out in 2014. That's quite a bit ago. And the rights were given in 2015, and the outbreak happened now. The real Umbrella Corp, Wuhan Ultra Biohazard Lab, is in Wuhan. Duh. Studying the world's most dangerous pathogens, including this virus. Gee, I wonder why that virus got on the town. I wonder why all the Chinese people know how to wear masks. A lot of leaks in this place. A lot of leaks in the real Umbrella Corp, which owns the patent to the coronavirus that is now spreading worldwide. Not that one, but 7 Chinese cities, including Wuhan, ground zero of the coronavirus epidemic, and collectively housing 23 million people, are under quarantine. That's 7 cities. Comparison to the infamous Raccoon City from Resident Evil are coming into hot and heavy. And we just showed you dead bodies on the street. Is the Medical Research Institute at Wuhan University Center for Immunology and Metabolism also called the Umbrella Corp? Well, if they are, then people are... This is all on purpose, and it's for profit. So, see how this pans out. Because we haven't had a pandemic in a while, and if it's a pandemic for pay, oh, it could be... Well, it could start the depopulation early. Now, ancient North America is connected to Mexico, and this is through Chaco Canyon, the Aztec ruins, and other things we're going to be revealing on this channel in videos coming up soon. And if you attend LeakCon 2020 at the Gaia-sphere, we're going to be having multiple discussions on this topic. The Chacoan culture and the petroglyphs worldwide are telling us all a story, which are slightly related and unrelated, but all related to the times that we're living. And we're going to go into more detail in a different podcast. But just to titilize you, Cahokia, one of the largest cities in North America in the upper Midwest, is directly related to Mexico City. And what lies directly between the two is Chaco, Aztec, and many other ruins that we're going to be covering in great detail, including Casas Grandes, Paquime, which is an exact replica of Aztec, only 200 years later and in a much crappier style. Here's Aztec, and we just showed you Paquime. And we're going to show you the similarities in future podcasts, and that was just a tippy touch. Now, Procession of the Gods. Have you seen this? This is amazing. So along this ancient canal here, the carvings were first seen in the 1970s, but war and pestilence and other shit have kept people away from these archaeological discoveries. And surveys of the site began in 2012, but archaeologists' work had been to be abandoned when ISIS became active and took over the region, and people were beheaded for looking at the shit. So that was the last job you wanted. But as a result, archaeologists are only able to return recently and start full scientific excavations at the site in 2019 after ISIS was driven out of the region, and the results are spectacular. Bas relief carvings into bedrock, which are very similar to any bas reliefs going all the way back to Göbekli Tepe. Yet these are only probably 3,000 or 4,000 years old, and built during the 8th century BC. The 4-mile-long canal where these panels are above. So just imagine a waterway that extends for miles, and there's just a bunch of bas relief carvings that would literally... Anyway, this is supposedly happening 2,800 years ago. Yeah. So lots of amazing breakthroughs in archaeology recently, and I'm going to bring you way back 20,000 years to Gunung Padang in Indonesia. Now, back in 70,000 years ago when the Toba eruption occurred, the entire population of the planet may have been reduced to a very small pocket, and anyone in Indonesia was probably not there at all. So Gunung Padang was probably rebuilt by the people on the other side of the globe that had to make it back here 20,000 years. 50,000 years later, they came back to Gunung, and they started building with these basaltic pillars that came from polygonal jointing from a cooled lava flow here. And if you look to the right and up here, there's actually a pyramid where they've done some LiDAR and radar scanning. And underneath of this more recent pyramid, which is dated to 2,300 years ago, they found evidence with charcoal and human-altered rocks that this site goes back 20,000 years. This could be the oldest site on Earth confirmed, where modern archaeology was going on. So if you don't know about it, I am going to just suffice you with the name of the site to do your own research. Gunung Padang. Bada boom, bada bang. Go get it. We're going to be doing many more updates on Padang. Anyway, the Masons, who were they? They were our forefathers in America, but they were also a secret society similar to the Native Americans. And the same history they hold is the history that has been hidden from you. The beehive was a significant part of that history because of the structural integrity of the product. Secret symbols of the Rosicrucians are part of this esoteric society, which look remarkably like the Tree of Life and the Kabbalah, because it's all geometric and it's all hidden. And it's all esoteric. So keep an open mind. Follow us as we move through it. And the biggest celestial event of the year could happen tomorrow. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. We're watching you. Hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. It's time to keep calm. Learn how to grow food. Create a community. Learn about ancient cultures and what they were trying to tell us. Get back to nature. Start reflecting. Take a yoga class. Start stretching. Doesn't matter if you're 70 or 80 or 12 or even 20. Starting now, it will be a benefit to your future. The number one problem with humanity is that people are sheep. 80% of the population don't want to hear what I have to say. But if you're part of the cusp and you're just getting into it and you're like, what should I do? Start stretching. Learning how to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. Learn about different types of yoga, including breathing yoga, light stretching. Learn about the Tibetan rites. Read the fluffy crap that Graham Hancock wrote for the last 2 decades and learn about how history has been hidden from you. And then take the deep dive if you want, because the rest of your life you could never uncover the truth that has been hidden from you. All you could ever hope for is to maybe come close, which is why I started the channel, because I'm decades ahead of the masses. And I decided to give classes. Please share these classes with the sheep that need it, the people that were uneducated or those that couldn't afford college because it's a waste of money. We're teaching practical things, and we're going back to basics, one day at a time. You'll always glean some small piece of knowledge from the show, as well as the real interpretation of current events. And we're not here to tell you what we think. We're here to give you the facts so that you can come up with your own conclusions. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to all our one-time donors, all of our new Patreons that stepped up in a big way this month. We love you. LeakCon tickets will soon be available. The final contracts are being negotiated. Now, after the April event, Rex and I are going to be doing a fall event where all of the original presenters will be welcome back, and an entire community event will be held. And it will be something like you have never seen before. That's all I got to say. Stay tuned. Be safe. We love you.